going? We won't need eyes to see.
It's over. Ladies and germs, it's showtime!
Welcome to the Lunch Bill Boys. I'm one of the hosts, TJ Harkness. Also on here with me is a man who needs no introduction, Mr. Splurton, motherfucking Burton.
That sounded like an introduction.
Yep, it did.
Hello. Yeah, exactly.
Also on here with us is a man who is often confused for Jesus Christ. One Skylar. There is no Dana, only Zuul. Wood.
You mean famous rock star, Skylar?
Dig through the ditches and eat all the witches.
Yeah.
What?
I did
This
that one.
is not like Halloween porn. How are you guys doing?
Good.
It's not only, I don't know, it's not only Halloween, October adjacent, so spooky season officially, but it's also Oktoberfest season.
Nice. Say we're slowly turning into Walmart, like we're celebrating Halloween, like August 29th.
As long as we're not celebrating Christmas right now, that's fine.
It's September 1st. Yeah, it's,
Festival.
Yeah, well, Christmas is only like 2 weeks away from being up in Walmart, so.
yeah.
That's why they got to put the Halloween stuff out now, because by Halloween, it'll be Christmas.
Yeah. They just skip Thanksgiving, which is the best holiday. Next to, well, Halloween, Thanksgiving.
Okay.
The fall holidays are the best.
This is our second year in a row. It's our second annual
Yes.
Midnight Snacks.
Second anal.
Some sneaky
So-
snacks.
And let me tell you that we have some fucking badass shows lined up. Especially these first two ones are going to be fucking tits up from the knees up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
We're going true crime, which is
Fuck.
cool.
Not somewhere that we've ventured before, so.
Oh, we've been there.
Yeah, not unless you're talking about getting crimed by a skinwalker. Well, you know, molested by a GoBot.
Did you say getting crimed?
Getting crimed.
Yeah.
Getting crimed.
I didn't know
by-
if that was like code for like jizzed on or something.
It's
Man,
one
I
of
got
that crimed.
crimed.
I totally got crimed in the woods by a dog man. His little red
He crimed
rocket.
right in my eyes.
His little red rocket got in my eye.
Told me the only way he wasn't going to rip my fucking throat out was fucking easy if I let him jizz in my face.
Yeah, it's like you were there.
I crimed in my pants earlier.
Oh. Well, and if you did jizz in your pants, the God is probably thanking us that no more Burton offspring are coming out into the world.
Yeah. Isn't it weird when you don't go pee after you ejaculate for a while and then you go to pee later and it does the whole... What was that movie where the guy had to... Was it American Pie?
Oh,
Where he had to take the book and hold the stream because it was going everywhere?
was that American Pie?
I don't
I know what you're
fucking
talking
remember.
about, but yeah, I think it was.
like-
It was this American Pie 2.
Maybe.
Like
Yeah,
sprinkler mode.
like
Yeah. I never thought that was real, though. I remember seeing it on TV and never thought it was real until I experienced it one time.
you're just like, what?
I'm peeing in 9 different directions.
That's not real.
Look at this! Even cooler if you spin around outside and... Whee!
It's a pee-pee sprinkler.
Oh, yeah, you water the plants with it.
Your neighbors call you or call the cops on you and try to explain to them while you're spinning around naked outside while peeing.
It's got what plants crave.
Oh, speaking of gross stuff that's not really on the track of what we're talking about, I woke up in the middle of the night last night and had a horrible stomach ache and had to go poop. And it was like opening up a champagne bottle. Like the first turd was just like a hard round one, and it hurt. And it was like, bloop.
Did it make like a cork noise? Did it go boom?
Kind of. It splashed, and then it was just like somebody emptying a mop bucket. Just. It's pretty cool.
Was it fizzy?
That's what I was gonna say. Was it carbonated?
No, there was like Dawn dish soap in it.
Oh, sir.
Or like, Burton keeps coming in here buying all these Soda Stream bottles. We don't know what the fuck he's doing with them.
Dude's a human
Butt
soda
chugging
stream.
champagne.
His wife walks in and he's in the restroom just jamming up there trying to release all. She's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
It's tingly.
The soda stream enema.
It's like a butt cano.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So how are you guys doing?
Talking to us or the listeners?
Yeah, how are you listeners
We're
doing?
breaking the fourth wall. We're waiting for her response.
We're doing good.
If you're doing good, send us an email at lunchpailboys@gmail.com or comment us on one of our various social medias.
Nice one. Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna get that plug in early.
And if you're looking to criminal somebody, TJ's ready for it.
I'll take criminal all over my face and hair. Just
Oh, so we're trying to get him criminaled.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jesus.
he can, someone that wants to be criminaled, someone that wants to criminal him.
Here at the Lunch Pail Boys, we always try to set a new standard for language. We got butt comes. Now we're criminaling on people. You know.
I think it's just cleaning up. I think we're growing up.
Yep.
Yeah.
believe so.
Jizzing on faces, is the more appropriate thing to do when you're mature.
I mean, but we're not saying jizzed on people. We're saying criminal.
Yeah.
Tissues are a thing of the past. We're really watching out for the earth.
Nothing absorbs a good criminal like a beard.
Who's that hair gel?
It's beard balm.
That's why I always have my beard in my mouth.
Oh God, Bert.
TJ, what the fuck are you drinking? It's like a 9-foot long bottle.
It's from my Soda Stream, dude.
I've never seen I just noticed it. It's just... Look at that motherfucker. It's like the size of 3 smart water bottles. How does that go into something? It looks like the fucking container off like a water gun.
Yeah, it's
like a Super Soaker 9000.
seriously.
You guys got to see this thing. I wish everybody else could see what you're doing. Now.
We put a picture up of it.
It's like the canister the Ninja Turtles were made from.
It's the secret of the ooze.
It's the ooze.
Oh shit. We're getting geared up. He's getting geared up for tonight. It's a big night. Oh my god.
So guys, as soon as September 20th hit and I started doing research on this, I got so fucking excited because the fall season is the best time of year, You got getting cooler, you got the leaves stinking, you got beers, and then you got the spoopies.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been prepping for this episode by listening to 3 or 4 Rob Zombie albums on repeat, and then some Type O.
Ooh, very fall.
Oh yeah. So with this being the first episode of Midnight Snacks, we wanted to really start off, fist in the ass, real fucking bang.
Mm.
And we've, like Zuul said, we've yet to really cover any true crime serial killers on this show, which I'm not sure how we've done that in 70 fucking episodes and not had one true crime serial killer.
The frogmen.
Yep. Besides them jacking off in the road, swinging their Harry Potter things around.
Yeah, I don't think. No.
I mean, I guess circle jerking could be.
It's a dangerous
serial.
activity.
No, I'm sorry. They just don't fix roads. That's all.
Yeah.
Frank, you ripped my dick off. Oh.
You're welcome, Jake.
I'm just really overzealous.
Careful, Jake's gonna pop in. Oh, like that.
That wasn't Jake. That wasn't Jake.
Wait, I heard something. I think it was. Was that Jake?
That's my chair.
Oh.
Which I want to say I think Jake may have won his third game. I think his team may be 3-0.
Hell yeah.
Coach is undefeated.
Yeah.
Coaching at what, North Dakota State University of Ohio?
Hey, it's his first year as a coach, and he's already been promoted twice. Dude's doing good. He's a head JV coach, and just,
Yeah, before we know it, it's no longer going to be Madden. It's going to be Han 2031. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, did you get the new copy of Han 31?
No, I've got a video of him naked from like 5 years ago. That's my Han.
I got the Han 2009.
Man, I just showed his dick. Damn it. I really got shafted.
Return of the Han.
We're sorry, Jake.
I wonder if Jake's penis has like a top hat and a beard. I've always wondered that.
It definitely has arms.
Don't all dicks have that?
Arms or a beard and a top hat?
Both. All of those.
It could be because I just watched Sausage Party again yesterday.
Jesus.
I like to masturbate to the sex scene at the end of it.
Oh my God.
Fuck me. Okay, so today we're going to cover one of the more gruesome killers I've researched, which I've happened to only research like 2 or 3 killers.
You're batting pretty high.
But no, this dude is like the shit he did. Not maybe this episode, but next episode's pretty fucking gruesome. So
We're just saying something because the stuff he does in this episode is pretty fucking weird and gruesome.
I would say he's a fucking pretty troubled son of a bitch, you know?
He definitely climbs the ladder of weird fucking gruesome shit pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, people think I'm weird. I'm like, man, you should really look into Richard Chase.
Old Dick Chase.
But this episode, we're going to be covering a man named Richard Chase, a.k.a. the Vampire of Sacramento.
Which I think we give killers a little too much like clout by giving these cool fucking names. Because the Vampire of Sacramento is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because he sucked blood, right?
Yeah.
That's why I got it. I think we should. I think you should tone it down a little bit. Call him like the Skeeter of Sacramento.
Okay.
Would the Vampire of San Francisco be like a gay vampire that sucks dick?
It could be.
That is a good one. I think that'd be a good episode. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
Hello.
Instead of talking about sucking dick for the first 10 minutes of the episode, we'll talk about it for the whole episode.
fuck yeah, we'll give the people what they want.
All dick sucking all the time.
24-hour dick sucking coverage.
Left and right just coming at you.
Top of the screen, bottom of the screen. This just
Leave your head around. So, let's call Richard the mosquito of Sacramento this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And next episode, because of the severity of the shit, he jumps up to vampire. Is that fair?
No.
That's, I get on board with it.
I'm calling him Dick Skeeter.
Dick Skeeter. Yeah.
Dick Skeeter. Burton, just wait till you hear some of this shit, dude.
I'm fucking ready to go. Let's go.
Don't make your balls hard.
My butt's already wet, so.
Oh, fuck.
Balls hard, butt wet. Let's go.
Unlike many other serial killers, Richard had no substantial records of being abused by his parents, you know. Let's just start off with that. But ultimately, he turned out to be a cannibal, serial killer, rapist.
Nice.
A real overachiever, if you ask me.
Yep. It's like a little Lebowski urban achiever.
Can't beat him, eat him. That's what my mom always said.
I'm going to hold back. I had something really good I wanted to say, but...
Why are you holding back? Take a drink out of your yard of fucking beverage and...
TJ's in Vegas drinking a fucking yard. I can't not laugh at it. It's so long.
Where'd he go? He's hiding. That makes it better.
He can't take a drink without the end of the thing hitting the fucking ceiling fan, probably. It's like a pool noodle.
What else I can drink it in?
He found another cup.
Oh my!
Oh gosh.
Now he didn't just jump to his overachieving ways. You know, Richard's weird and deadly shit didn't just start in the killings he committed in 1977 and 78, or even when things started ramping up in 1970. The man Richard would become sort of developed like a fine wine of schizophrenia and paranoia and rabbit's blood. A lot of rabbit's blood. That sort of helped create him to the man he would be through his formative years in the 50s and 60s. So basically what we'll cover in this episode is Richard's life before the killing spree in the late 70s, and then the next episode, which we'll fully dedicate to his more gruesome and horrible behavior.
We get hog wild in that shit. Balls hard,
Yeah.
butt wet.
That's another sticker
I'm gonna use
idea.
that. That's gonna be our new slogan.
That's another sticker idea. I think balls hard, dick wet, butt wet.
Not dick wet. No.
No,
we don't do that. That's,
butt wet. Butt wet, balls hard.
that's perverse, dude. That's
I'm
gross.
sorry. I know we're growing up.
Oh, I'm all balls, no penis right now.
At some point while growing up, I believe the year before his sister Pamela was born, the Chases moved to Sacramento, which at this time was a step up from the Santa Clara home that Richard was born in. I did notice across most of the web there were allegations of Chase being physically abused by his parents. In a documentary I watched called Richard Chase, Born to Kill, it stated that his household was, the abuse that happened in his household were that of a typical, 50s home.
Smacking with a tree limb and...
Yeah, spanking, the occasional slap.
I mean, I did hear some stuff on podcasts that mentioned that, father went kind of AC/DC on him and his sister when he got, frustrated with him.
Shook him all night long.
Yeah. Shook him a little bit.
Jeez.
Force-fed Richard at 2 years old when he wouldn't eat until he threw up. I mean, that's probably, to be honest, that's probably typical 50s.
What a nice guy.
Yeah. He was the probably more level-headed of his parents, as we'll get into, probably. So,
But none of this stuff I would say is really horrible. Fuck, when I grew up, I got my ass beat if I fucked up.
so I'm sure there's probably plenty of kids in the 50s and on who probably have gotten worse and didn't turn into, anyway, rabbit suckers.
Yeah, it was probably like the dicks in his ass that caused it.
Jesus. So, but none of this stuff was really horrible. It was said that Chase's father also, and this wasn't from the documentary, this was just around the web. It was said that Chase's father would, quote, emotionally abuse him by yelling at him when he messed up.
Aww.
Which may have happened, but for fuck's sakes, quit being pussies. Being yelled at isn't fucking abuse.
Come on, who hasn't been emotionally abused by their father at some point in their lives?
Jesus, fuck. My dad, there was a little bit where I kept fucking up, and I don't blame my dad, but I got yelled at all the fucking time. I think his favorite saying was, "You can't be that fucking stupid, you idiot." And I'm like, I think I was. I really did do that, Dad.
That's stupid.
You guys and having dads growing up.
So everybody yells at their kids from time to time. Anyways, let me step off my soapbox.
Oh, your dope box.
My soapbox.
Yeah.
Let me step off my giant glass.
Chase claimed that his mother would also physically abuse him as a child. However, he would later redact that when he was being interviewed and all that shit. And he also, I think investigators were able to prove that she didn't. She was actually probably more of a enabler than anything.
Yeah.
His dad was the disabler.
That's what we call a guy that goes around ripping people out of the wheelchairs. The disabler.
I eat my vegetables.
I don't know. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. We're fucking getting hard. Balls hard, butt wet.
I'm getting they're getting a little soggy right now. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm basically sitting in a wading pool right now.
I'm gonna turn Lord.
That's about 4 butt comes.
That's Lord. Bring it down. Bring it down a little.
Thought I was in the bathtub for a minute. It's getting clammy.
Suds and
Do your balls ever get pruny like your fingers when you're in the water too long?
they're always kind of a little pruny. I feel like.
Yeah.
It always happens when I have a guy's balls in my mouth.
Uh huh.
His balls get pruny in your mouth?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
yes, I don't know.
I've never had somebody's balls in my mouth, but oh fuck.
You want to?
If you know what it's like, if you know what happens to someone's balls when they're in your mouth for too long, can you let us know at Lunch Pill Boys?
Hold on, let's call my dad and see what he says.
Yeah. Ask him if he's ever been criminaled.
If you've been criminaled, and yeah, what happens to balls when they've been soaked in the mouth hole of a young man for too long?
Bob's Porno Bar and Pizzeria, how may I help you?
Oh, you call?
Yeah, so Dad, I'll ask a question, okay? Burton wants to know. So, Burton, he wants to know. Burton said when you put a man's pair of balls in your mouth, they like, after a little bit, they get like, you know how your fingers get shriveled? He said that their balls will do that too when they're sitting in your mouth way too long. I wanted to know if you could tell me about this.
No, can't tell you a fucking thing.
What
Dad,
about when
say
you're in the
hi to
bathtub?
You ain't in the bathtub, are you?
Who?
You.
No, we're driving back from Bloomington.
Oh, well, say hi to everybody on the podcast.
Justin?
Hi, Bobby.
He says hi, Bobby.
Huh?
He said hi, Bobby.
Tell me he's the only one that's got experience with shriveled balls in the guy's mouth.
Oh, go ahead.
We also came up with, what was the word, guys?
Criminaled.
Criminaled?
Okay, so you know the word criminal?
Yeah.
So we sort of changed that into like a verb. And now when somebody... Oh, shit, this is awkward. So when somebody gets off in somebody's face, we're calling it criminaled. And Burton wants to know if you've ever been criminaled.
Justin's the only criminal we know.
Well, I love you, Dad.
No, hey, tell Justin to ask knotheads what it's like.
Jesus Christ. Love you, Dad. Bye.
Did he tell you about what her name is saved at on his phone?
Yes.
About I changed Siri's name on Bobby's phone, or changed the way that Siri talks on Bobby's phone to a South African chick. So Bobby doesn't know how to do anything on his phone. He's always like, "Hey Burton, how do I send a text?" or whatever. So Katie's number is saved. Her name is saved as Knothead on his phone. But if he says, "Hey Siri, call Knothead," it'll say, "Calling Cunthead."
Cool, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh,
He hasn't changed it yet either.
Jesus.
I don't know how knot and cunt are the same, but
South African, it's
fair enough.
the mystery.
Anyways, where the hell are we?
After that, derail. But we got down to some, we got some very important things sorted out, I think. So even though maybe the physical abuse at the hands of Richard's parents wasn't anything really of note for the 1950s and on, they're not necessarily, I guess, in the clear, because their neglect of their children sort of created a fertile breeding ground for a monster to be criminaled.
Oh, fuck.
Or maybe he was the product of being criminal. When a man loves a woman and then they neglect their offspring, that's called a monster. Now, Richard was pretty average growing up as a young boy. Nothing special, nothing peculiar.
So he was an average dick.
He was pretty average dick, He was about 4 1/4, solid 4 1/4. Young Richard was in the Cub Scouts. He even played 4 years of Little League Baseball.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Real slugger. He was also well liked by his teachers, who thought little Richard was a sweet child.
Little Richard.
He was also popular with his peers, with dozens of them coming to attend his birthday parties.
So everyone came to Dick's parties.
It's usually the other way. Dicks are coming into parties, but
When in Rome.
I guess win in 10, win 10.
Yeah.
I know I'd invite Dick to my party.
Yeah.
Maybe not young Dick, but older Dick.
When you were younger, or what? Anyway, so somewhere around the age of 10 is when Richard's life took a serious turn toward the wrong side.
The no-no side.
The no-no part side.
It was at this time that old Richard Chase Sr., which we'll refer to as Senior. Oh, Captain Dick and Beatrice were having some difficult times in their marriage. It was said that Senior was an alcoholic and he had issues with managing money, spending it on alcohol and cigarettes and cheap hookers. This led to problems between both of his parents, so they would frequently argue loudly in front of their children. His mother, Beatrice, was evaluated by 2 psychiatrists. This is later accusing old Dick of poisoning her, which is similar to paranoid ideas that would later manifest in young Dick's delusional thinking.
So both parents had marital problems, often fought over money and other shit. And they would go on to divorce. So I would say that, Richard's childhood was more than likely unstable, but not abusive. Is that fair, would you say?
I'd say.
Sounds like a typical
Disruptive.
family nowadays.
Yeah.
And say what you will about his father and maybe his disciplinary tactics, but I think we'll find out as we go on. I think maybe the neurotic apple doesn't fall far from the Beatrice tree when it comes to Richard, because she would allegedly constantly accuse Dick Senior of cheating on her, even accusing him on a vacation once in Oregon while they were camping that he was meeting some woman in the woods that was waiting for him out in the woods.
Just Bigfoot.
It was just. I know you're out there fucking that Bigfoot, getting criminal all over his big feet.
Big feet criminal all over you.
She'd also demean his sexual performance too, which saying shit basically I gotta be drugged. I gotta be drugged to have sex with you. So now, probably preoccupied with their failing marriage, Richard's parents wouldn't recognize their son starting to turn into a little fucking weirdo. Around the age of 9 or 10, Richard would begin to worry that he didn't have enough blood in his body, and that he would eventually run out of blood. Here in a few minutes, we'll discuss how Richard attempted to solve his blood problems.
Do you ever have the feeling that you don't have enough blood?
Only when I have a boner.
Oh. What's that?
Ask your mom. Not your mom, Richard's mom, Beatrice.
I think it's weird. The kid's just worried about having blood. He's like, I'm going to run out of blood. What the fuck?
I think it's a reasonable issue.
Yeah, it'll get more reasonable as we.
Also, around the ages of 9 and 10, he developed a macabre interest in dead animals. It started with cats. He would he found a dead cat, he'd poke it or try to cut it open and get in there and play with the organs and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then it went from just poking dead animals and looking at them to he began to kill birds, rabbits, and dogs. When he was 10, his mother confided in a neighbor stating that she found a dead cat buried in her flower box and she probably knew it was her weirdo fucking son. Now, I paraphrase that somewhat. So, the neighbor also recalled that she remembered a lot of cats going missing from the neighborhood while the Chase family lived there. Oh, there was a lot more pussy around here.
I'm going to say that Dick was slaying pussy.
Yeah.
I seen that little 10-year-old chasing after some of them cats and then squealing later.
Yep.
He was criminaling them all night.
I see them out there criminaling and right in their faces.
Dead, and they were.
I don't know why my old woman voice sounds like fucking somebody from the Andy Griffith show.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Cats' tongues are so rough, though. I would never try to criminal one.
Probably sandy smooth though.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be good if you had a lot of dead skin or something. Like if you had herpes or
I feel
something.
like
it'd probably feel
exfoliate.
good
Yeah,
'cause they could-
probably exfoliant.
Use this cat tongue on your dick. It really exfoliates.
Need a smooth cock.
Patented dick, cat tongue for dicks. Cat tongue for dicks. Rub it on your dick.
So Richard really liked to kill and torture cats. He found them around his neighborhood, and he was so fascinated by the animal's blood and the insides in a way that seemed almost clinical. After killing them, he would perform little dick autopsies so he could see their organs and the blood.
Where is the line drawn? Where's the line drawn where the interest in the animal's blood and insides becomes actually clinical?
I'm actually studying to be a vet.
Okay,
so-
that's fair. Yeah.
He's got little lights over him. He's got his little scalpel.
That's-
Doctor, hand me the other one.
Come on, Richard, give me a scalpel. Okay, Richard, thank you.
Not only Richard become weird, like, you know, fascinated with the animals, blood, and all that shit, and killing cats. Richard also had going against him was he wasn't a clean kid. It was said that he avoided bathing any chance he could.
Hell yeah.
He hated wearing clean clothes. And just an overall level of stinkiness that typically, you know, is reserved for somebody that just climbed out of the fucking sewer.
Sewer.
Is this also about the age where you like to wander around the house and like in the night?
I don't know.
I'm not sure when that.
I don't remember hearing.
He would like wander around the house at night and he'd turn the heat on. He'd like get stripped down and turn the heat on, open the windows, and lay on the couch and like pretend to be bacon.
So he did that when his parents left.
No, because
Like they would go somewhere.
Because it said there was something that said his mom and his sister they couldn't sleep because he'd wander around the house, turn up the heat, and he'd get hot as shit, and he'd just be there like a little suckling pig on the couch, just sweating it out.
Yeah. So I don't remember that, but I do remember also reading about like he did that when they would leave also.
That's probably a better idea.
And they'd come back and it'd be like 100 and something degrees in the house. And they're like, what the fuck? And he's like, ah! Shaking his little kid titties at him.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Nope. Nope.
Nope, left that alone.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
I fucking hate Bert.
So now, to temporarily stray away from the kid titties and the animal killings, Richard also enjoyed starting fires. So we couldn't really find anything, you know, stating he liked to burn down anything like a cookie cottage or like a church's chicken or something. But he liked his fires, but not as much as he loved to torture and kill small animals. Richard also, by the age of 10, enjoyed pissing his bed fairly regularly. He's got quite hobby set right now.
I like to burn shit, kill shit, and piss in my bed.
Imagine that on your fucking resume.
I imagine
Kill
him,
birds? Expert.
I imagine him being like in the Little League World Series and they're interviewing him for like the at bat, and it's like, here we have little Dick Chase. In his in his free time, Dick likes to start fires, kill animals, and piss in his bed.
Well, I really love pissing my bed.
My God, I think he's pissed his pants right there at the home plate, right there. Yep. See that spot on his crotch? Dead giveaway.
There's still blood on his baseball bat.
From his piss?
Man, maybe.
We'd also like to note that the stray cat population around the Little League field has dropped drastically since the start of the World Series.
There's a plethora of Chinese food stands popping up around there,
Jesus
too.
Christ. Yeah. Could be. So with these three pastimes that Richard liked to dabble in, he fulfilled what is considered infamous or the largely contested, referred to as the McDonald triad. Burden, can you guess what the McDonald triad might entail?
McRib.
Fuck yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah,
That's why we're brothers, dude. Fuck
That
yeah.
would cause somebody to fucking mutilate, kill people.
I got pissed at Taco Bell in Bloomington because these new dipping tacos they have out are fucking awesome. And it was on their menu, and I was like, I want 3 dipping tacos. And the lady's like, we ain't got them no more. And I was like, the fuck you do? Yeah.
It's like the Mexican
Anyways,
pizza.
I was emotional.
And then you seen the lady rubbing her butt across the tacos that are on the ground like a dog trying to
She's like,
clean his anal
what
gland.
if you want to dip a taco? I've got a taco.
And then I tried to order a Big Red, and she's like, a Big Red? We got red Gatorade. And I was like, what the fuck? What's happening right now? Apparently in Bloomington, they've never heard of Big Red.
All the man wants is some Big Red and some dipping tacos.
Oh, fucking sluts.
Jesus. So, for those of you who do not know what the McDonald triad is, it's an idea that 3 specific behaviors in childhood can indicate that a person will grow up to be a violent criminal.
So it doesn't have to do with the McRib.
Or a McFlurry.
What the fuck would you say a McFlurry? It'd be like the McRib, the McDouble, and like some fries.
Spicy McChicken. Fuck.
No fish fillet?
Nah,
Oh,
fuck
Yeah,
it.
you're right. I wouldn't. Culver's fish fillet, that's the only one I'll go for.
So, the 3 behaviors specifically mentioned in the McDonald triad is the pissing in the bed, fire setting, and animal cruelty.
Huh.
Just to give you a little bit of background on this was first proposed by a psychiatrist named J.M. McDonald in 1963.
Pick up sticks.
And
Yep, John
throughout
McDonald.
yep, John McDonald. But throughout undergrad, I think there's a few of my psychology classes and criminology classes, they made mention of this, but most of them talked a lot of shit about it, stating because this theory didn't include other extenuating factors such as like childhood abuse, both sexually, physical, plethora of other factors, it didn't take in consideration that could create a fucking psychotic killer.
Psycho killer!
Ooh. But regardless of whether it is true or not, this case, it definitely was.
Criminology, huh? Where are you studying to be, Batman?
Nice. Clerks
Yeah.
2.
Gotta bring it all in. Yeah, Richard displayed all 3 of those very distinguishable behaviors and excelled at them.
A plus.
A plus on the pissing, animal killing, firing. At this point, Richard's fucked up side really started to shine through like a big fucked up sun behind some clouds around his family, of course. Huh.
Sorry, I just had a weigh-ins moment when you said son for some reason like that. All I thought of was scary movie. Jesus! I'm weird. Sorry. On with chlorophyll.
On with the piss into the bed. But yeah, his fucked up started to shine through around his family and in private, but would largely go unnoticed by his peers during his teenage years. Now, according to statements from his peers in high school, Richard was fairly popular, who liked to fuck the ladies, or at least try to.
I like a fuck of the ladies.
I like to fuck the ladies and piss the bed. Come here and fuck me in my piss bed. Anyway, I like to try to. But a piss smelling bed is kind of hard to get a woman into. This really doesn't seem to be a very common, I guess, scenario in serial killers' young lives, or as most experience alienation during their adolescence. Oh, Richard had a fairly social adolescence.
Richard didn't have much trouble getting friends or dates in his early teens. It became a different matter, though, later on in old puberty. Richard was attracted to ladies, but he couldn't get hard during his early high school years, he learned that in order for a man to get an erection, blood was needed to rush into the penis, filling the flaccid member and making it erect following arousal.
That's why a penis doesn't move.
I'd like to fuck you, but I need a transfusion.
I just imagine he's like, oh no! I'm already running out!
Like, Richard, are you okay? Is this gonna happen?
No!
I'm low on blood, damn it.
Let me drink blood from your finger real quick. I may be able to get hard. But at this point, he didn't, put that together, so...
I was gonna say, it's not knock him for his attempts to get with the ladies, you you miss every shot you don't take, or whatever, something.
Yeah.
Pun
Wayne
intended.
Gretzky.
So, Richard became very worried, already Richard was very worried already from an early age, about running out of blood. And, just throw on adding a new body part, that needed his precious blood. Where the hell is all this blood going to come from? Richard would quickly link the supposed lack of blood to his inability to get hard, which Richard will work hard to try to find a workaround to get his little pee-pee hard again.
It's just stacking up against him.
Definitely not his pee-pee stacking up against him.
I'm already running out
It
of
is
blood.
depressing, though. Not being able to get an
Mom!
erection.
I need some blood!
Mom, help me get my dick hard.
Got any blood?
Pretty
Got any
much.
blood, Mom? I can borrow?
Oh, honey, let me pull out my tampon.
Oh, God. Well, man's got to do what he's got to do. Another component to this would be that Richard was getting heavily into the pot and the acids. While I would say that both pot and acid use doesn't necessarily make anyone crazy, necessarily, it sort of exacerbates the issues with those that probably already have underlying psychological or physiological issues. This chemical indulgence may have been what pushed him over the edge, or at very minimum, made his sort of out there thoughts seem a little more real.
I'm all for people, using drugs and shit, but if you've got a severe issue, I don't think,
Well, there's I think evidence out there that underlying, especially like schizophrenia,
Oh yeah.
it can kind of bring that to the surface.
The moon talked to me last night.
Dude, I mean, I've been there too, but I don't think that now. I used to like to set things on fires when I was younger too. I mean, not like bad things. It just, it was fun to start fires.
Just church women.
Yeah,
and
well, they were
carriages
heretics,
and
so,
crosses.
yeah, mostly just boxes.
Jesus. This delusion soon led him to believe that if he were to drink blood, he could fill his body, and therefore fill up his penis. He'd no longer suffer from the humiliation that he endured, sexually. When he's sitting there trying to flog the bishop, getting it hard in front of women, he's like, it worked yesterday. And so the dangerous obsession was growing and would soon morph into something more horrific.
Horrific.
You guys, you would say, would 18th year be something like a big year in like a young adolescence, or not young, but like a young adult's life?
No.
You fucking contrarian.
I'm not a bird.
Yeah. But no, really, would you say it's...
Well, yeah, typically. That's a big, you graduate high school.
In our
and
society and
buy porn.
Yeah, buy porn and cigarettes.
Well, let's just say like post-industrial age.
Oh yes.
It's like 1947,
50s on,
1846.
Yep. 18's typically the age,
Typically, you're legally an adult.
Yeah. Graduating.
Graduating to
Deciding whether you're going to go to college.
Can legally have sex with folks.
Yeah.
You
Nope.
can be interested in fucking women.
not unless they're under 18. I don't know. Probably in the
As long as
50s.
you're over
In the
18.
50s, you probably could.
As long as one of you's over 18.
I'm consenting for both of us. Thanks.
I think we call that rape.
Yeah, probably. Goddamn.
Much like his peers, Richard had a lot of moving pieces, ins and outs, buttholes, vaginas, etc. So, like most of his peer counterparts, was considering going to college, moving out, maybe going into the workforce, becoming instead of a donor, he would be the one to pick up blood donations and never show up to the donation drop spot. Richard's first attempt to top off his body with what he considered much needed blood happened to be when he was 18 also. The blood needed to satiate his penis hunger came from a kitten that he had stolen from his girlfriend's house. So this is how I see it playing out, Imagine Richard going over to his girlfriend's house for dinner, and he spots a cat. This is where I sort of see it turning into like, what's it called, Dumb and Dumber? Is it Lloyd or Harry?
What, when he's shitting?
Yeah.
That's Harry. Harry Dunn.
So Harry goes to the restroom, sort of in the same way that Richard did with a cat. And instead of shitting his brains out, he sneaks out the back window with a cat. And the girlfriend's like, where the fuck did he go?
What was that?
But
Are you okay in there? Awful shitting sounds. Sounds like you're killing it. Sounds like you're killing a cat.
the shitting sound.
How awkward might it be when he goes and he's filled up on cat blood and he still can't get hard? But yeah, Richard brought the small feline to the back of the house where he killed it and drank the blood straight from the animal. Straight from the, can't get any fresher. Couldn't find anything else, really say anything on how long it took, but ultimately he found out that it obviously didn't help, so there you go. So he went on to larger prey. Obviously, a little cat didn't have enough blood to fill up his penis.
He's got to have a big dick,
Yeah.
dude.
That's the whole problem.
He's got like a 2-liter cock.
Every time I get hard,
Kind of like your bottle.
Every time I get hard, I get lightheaded. All the blood goes.
His dick is TJ's fucking little fancy bottle he's got.
So, soon after murdering the cat, Richard shot and killed a white dog named Sabbath.
I thought it was Black Sabbath. This is White Sabbath.
Yeah.
I like it.
He tried to collect the blood from the bullet holes by taking a little Dixie cup and like pushing near the holes, and basically a biological equivalent to a soda machine minus the Pepsi and Mountain Dew.
It's right next to the Pepsi and Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, dog blood.
Sabbath blood.
The blood of the Sabbath.
Yeah, he needs to graduate from the Dixie cup and get to the yard long cup.
The liter of cola.
Big goal.
Also at the ripe old age of 18, Dick was having a hard time with popping up a chub, and it really bothered him. So he went to the psychiatrist, where he learned that a root cause of lack of wood was repressed anger. The psychiatrist also thought he may be suffering from a major mental illness, but did not suggest that he be committed. More than likely, Richard and his psychiatrist also discussed his obsession with blood, though one can only speculate whether or not he admitted to drinking blood of the animals in any of his sessions. But I feel like it's more than fair to assume that he had to have confessed this to his doc. The doctor might have not been too worried about this, but who knows?
And it was also around this time that his psychological problems began to escalate from being only about replacing blood for his flaccid member to becoming a hypochondriac. Richard would go on to make crazy claims regarding his health all the way up until his death, and these claims varied from Richard's belief that his stomach was put in backwards, that his cranium was changing in shape. He also believed that someone stole his pulmonary artery, and also complained that the bones were coming out of the back of his head, and that his heart often stopped beating.
Bunch of weird fucking shit.
That sounds normal.
Typical. It's puberty.
Imagine going to the hospital. Doctor, my heart stopped beating. Help me.
I mean, I think he ended up at. I think we're going to talk about that here just next. He ended up at the hospital, and that's where he claimed that they stole his pulmonary artery. you know, just good. Those fuckers came in and took it.
Fuck them. Another 18-year-old milestone experienced by Chase's peers and also Chase is moving out of your parents' home. So Chase moved out of his parents' home and went to college at American River College, where Richard managed to maintain a steady C average while usually getting higher than fuck.
Sounds about right.
His cup of tea was still, LSD and pot, pretty consistently. He is also selling it. When he got into college, I think around the age of 21, he moved in with 2 female roommates, one of which he knew from high school and the other one he met since graduating.
So Richard's weirdness could no longer be contained like it was during his high school days. I don't think anyone could really even imagine just how bad of a roommate he was. I think if you could even think of your worst roommate, this guy probably upped it a little bit. He was stinky and unhygienic, weird, and obviously the blood craving isn't just a shining combination, especially for the people living with him. His roommates never stayed long with Richard. They all shared the same concerns, and that he was regularly under the influence of alcohol, marijuana, and the LSD.
It is said that one night he locked himself into his room, boarded the door, then locked himself in the closet and boarded that door up also. When asked why he did it, Richard said, "People were sneaking up on me from the inside."
What the fuck?
As if that wasn't weird enough, his former roommates also claimed he would walk around naked. Even in front of company. He would sit on the couch and try to talk to roommates in their company. One of Dick's roommates was in a band, and they would try to have band practice, we assume in the garage or somewhere in the home. They said that Richard would walk into practice and begin to play the bongos. Nobody wanted him there, and he was horrendous, so basically, he was being a yoko.
Yeah, just imagine this fucking stinky ass naked fucker, a 2-liter pop bottle dangling between his legs.
So what was he banging?
Just walking
what
right
was he
in.
banging the bongos with?
Probably his dick.
Boom, boom.
Bang the gong with your schlong. Get
He
it
bends
on.
over. He's like, "Hey, do you have a spare cat I can drink the blood from? I need to really get this thing hard so I can really get a good
Yeah,
thud."
guys, I'm not really feeling what I'm doing right here, but I need some cat's blood.
Anybody got any in their backpack?
Maybe, probably. Like a juice box.
A juice cat box.
I'm gonna go in the garage and put my ball sack on your bongo set.
I hate you.
Shockingly enough, this behavior drove the roommates to asking him to leave. They didn't want to live with the naked bongo drummer that smelled like a cat's vagina. But old Dick refused, so they left instead. Now, before long, he ran out of roommates. Nobody was knocking at the door to be roommates with a stinky, psychotic, nudie man with a fascination for cat blood. And let's be fair. He's a fan of a lot. He's just a fan of blood.
And nudies.
Chase was forced to move back in with his mother, who had at that point since divorced his father.
So just remembered that this was all happening while he was capturing cats and other animals and drinking their blood. So he's still doing that on the down low, but he's also being checked in and out of mental institutions around the area.
Imagine having him as a roommate, and he comes out and you got your friends with you, and he's like, "Hey, do you have any cat's blood? I'll settle for parakeet too."
To be fair, any blood will do.
Jesus. I think I can picture this dude just being one of the worst fucking roommates ever. Chase, was living with his mother, and more than likely he wasn't taking his medications. So one day, Richard showed up to his house, talking about how people are following him, being really fucking paranoid. I believe he may have been covered with blood, so his mother grabbed a phone and attempted to call the cops. And Richard took the phone away and beat the living fuck out of his mom with the phone.
And she still managed to call the cops on him.
Yep.
So at this point, things were coming to a head with Richard and his parents. Both parents eventually had him move out to Los Angeles to live with his grandmother. Lucky her. Richard would work for the school that his grandmother worked at, driving mentally handicapped kids to and from school in the bus.
What a great idea.
He held this job mostly without incident, other than he wouldn't clean the bus or keep the bus topped off with oil.
You see him with draining like a dog's throat right over like the oil fill.
It's a waste of good oil. Oh. Like we'll say through the next 2 episodes, Richard never stopped being Richard.
I picture Richard on the bus, and they stop. And he's like, hold on, kids. And he sits down and lifts his legs up and starts scooting his ass across down the thing. I don't know why.
Like the butt drag thing that dogs do?
Yeah. Yeah. He's sitting there just piling. And he's like, hey, you guys want to stop and get some blood? But still, the fact that he was fucking hauling mentally handicapped kids, his grandma thought this was a good idea to drive kids, be responsible for kids.
To be fair, I don't know did she know the extent of his, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
No, she fucking knew.
She didn't have the same mentality that his dad had for the most part, where it was just like, you just need to get a job, and that'll fix your blood drinking ways. Not mental illness. You're just not being American enough.
I wonder if he carried like thermoses of blood. And they're like, what are you drinking up there? Is that alcohol?
That'd be a practical thing to do.
It is said that for like a 3-week time period, Richard would walk around his grandmother's home saying, I don't know why he's saying this, but he'd be like, you're a good boy, Richard. And he would incessantly repeat this, He would also wrap his head with saran wrap, putting oranges under it, like against the skin, and then wrap a towel around that, believing that he could absorb vitamins through like some sort of osmosis. I don't need my orange juice today.
I drink my oranges through my head.
What a fucking dork. Richard was a giant pain in the ass for his grandmother, obviously. She was able to supply him with the round-the-clock supervision, but eventually she had enough of his crazy antics and bloodletting. Sounds a lot like Jeffrey Dahmer.
I think this dude was a lot more fucking off the chain than Jeffrey.
In 1973/74, Richard would move back to Sacramento, and shortly after moving...
Hi, Grandma!
Yeah, bye.
Grandma?
Get the fuck out, weirdo. Shortly after moving back, he'd be admitted to the hospital, the American River Hospital, and this is where he arrived, claiming that his pulmonary artery had been removed. It was here that doctors examined him, his behavior, and ultimately diagnosed him with severe schizophrenia, if any of that shocks you. Specifically, they diagnosed him with paranoid schizophrenia. Chase underwent a series of treatments, but he didn't react to the antipsychotic medications he was prescribed, leading doctors to believe that his mental issues were related to the number of recreational drugs he had taken over the years.
So you're telling me this acid's really fucking me up? And then the doctor walks in and he's sitting there talking to himself like, no, Richard, I didn't say that. I just walked into the fucking...
Quiet, sir. I'm talking to the doctor. Well, Richard.
He's doing both voices.
What do you think? Is all the acid you've taken the problem? Well, I don't know, Richard.
The doctor's also
How much
Richard.
acid is too much?
Oh, like 10 tabs.
Richard didn't disclose that he had been drinking animal blood to the doctors. I believe he was only at this facility for a short while, almost like an acute stay.
Oh.
They did state that Richard was not a danger to himself or others, so they discharged him to his parents.
Jesus fucking Christ. this dude's in there arguing with himself whether his schizophrenia is affecting him. He's like, yeah, go ahead home. And then the doctor walks in, and the doctor's like, we didn't even say that, Richard. He's like, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
He's already getting his bags ready, and they're like, we're not, what are you doing? So after discharge, Richard would go on to, really embrace it. He would accuse his mother of poisoning him. Remember, we said that his mom was accusing his father of poisoning him?
The circle is complete.
So after this, mother's like, fuck this shit. And she decided to get him his own apartment.
So she didn't like getting her own medicine dropped back on her, like the whole, accusing someone of poison and shit.
Yeah, no. Once he got his own apartment, which is the best thing probably for a paranoid schizophrenic, just left to his own devices, pot, acid,
Butt sex
with himself.
Yeah.
You like
Richard, do you want to fuck me in the ass? Well, yeah.
You like that, Richard? I bet I do, Richard. Thanks, Richard.
But then he's like,
Richard.
that other Richard's talking shit about me. He tried killing me the other day.
Richard tried to poison me.
Red rum. His apartment also was conveniently down the road from a local rabbit farm. So Richard was seen riding his bike back and forth every day with a load of rabbits either in a fucking Walmart bag or under his arm, taking them home, butchering them. So it's safe to assume, he was fucking eating raw fucking rabbit meat or drinking their goddamn blood. Said that he was also mixing their organs with Coke in a blender, making some sort of Coke organ smoothie.
Organs.
I wonder if what's his name would approve of that. Bert, what do you think?
What's his name?
Oh, what the fuck's his name? Liver King?
Oh, fuck that guy.
That's like a Liver King. That's like a Liver King energy drink.
Yep.
That dude's fucking gross.
I mean, it's good to see that he's supporting local, meat producers. Right? I mean, farm to table.
Well, there's no table. It's just farm to mouth.
Farm to blender with Coke.
My rabbit blood has Coke in it. How do you like yours?
Is it cocaine or Coca-Cola?
Coca-Cola. He goes to a bar and said, do you have any rabbit blood and Coke? No.
I'll take a jackrabbit and
Is
Coke.
that a drink? Is that a drink? Is that a drink? Is a jackrabbit and Coke a drink?
It is now.
Fuck yeah.
Imagine him going into a bar and he brings in his own rabbit and he's sitting there wringing out the blood.
Once we start merchandising, we're going to create a pre-mixed cocktail called the Jackrabbit and Coke. It's going to be rabbit blood and Coke, Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Only the finest.
It hits smooth.
It slaps, one might say.
About to slap Bert and his bees.
I'm going to slap your dick in my mouth.
Yep.
Getting saucy. So Richard's fascination with drinking rabbit blood would move into, shockingly, an even more serious area. Richard decided to inject himself with rabbit blood. Now, he came to this because he thought, while going farm to table with the locally sourced rabbits, he had eaten a rabbit who had ingested battery acid, and that battery acid had seeped through the walls of the rabbit's stomach and into its flesh. And the only thing that could cure battery acid tainted rabbit blood was some clean rabbit blood. How did the rabbit get battery acid, though?
Probably munching on some Duracells over there.
Where'd my batteries go? The only way Richard, I guess, found to quickly counteract the battery acid blood was a direct injection of the rabbit's blood into his veins, which, not surprisingly, would go on to fuck him up pretty good.
Huh. So later that evening, after some rabbit blood injections, Richard Sr. would show up unannounced to his son's home. Lucky for little Richard, his dad would find him on the couch, colorless and really lethargic. Little Richard tried to pass it off to his dad that he had eaten a rabbit and had food poisoning. However, Richard, Richard Sr., Papa Dick,
Big Richard.
quickly rushed him to the hospital.
I would say it was a possibility that he got food poisoning, but his father knew something was fucking up. Once they got to the hospital, Richard would attempt to pass it off to the doctors that he had food poisoning. The doctor's like, no fucking way. This is way worse. And they found out that the true reason was for the sickness wasn't a result of, eating bad rabbit, but actually blood poisoning. And as a result, he was involuntarily institutionalized at a psychiatric facility. Woo!
Ah.
Finally, after 7 years of going in and out of these acute stay places, exhibiting the severe, paranoid, delusional, schizophrenic shit, he was finally fucking committed to a long-term treatment.
But after 2 days, little Dickie would go on to escape. He ran to his mama's house, but she swiftly returned him to Beverly Manor. During his sessions with a psychiatrist and therapist, Chase would only talk about the animals he would catch and kill, and his love for blood. This is the only thing that he would talk about. So the staff nicknamed him Dracula.
So, this motherfucker seems slippery as shit, Stinky, bloody, greasy. You could picture this being the type of person to be slippery and just, fucking getting away.
Oh, so slick.
What'd you say, Burton?
So slick.
God, my balls are real hard right now.
My ass is so wet.
By these powers combined.
By the power of Grayskull!
I will criminal you.
That's what Nancy Pelosi jizzes in everybody's faces.
Oh my god, that makes me hard.
That is the opposite. I am the opposite.
It makes me feel like Mitch McConnell.
Little turtle man being... His programming's being re-uploaded.
He's loading his pants. That's what he's doing.
So he's either loading his pants or the Windows update happened at the wrong time of day.
It got blue screened, actually. I think that's, yeah. Need to unplug him and plug him back in. That's the best way to fix that. Neither doctors or nurses believed him when he spoke of his acts involving animals. I'm assuming the mutilation and blood eating. That is until one day, staff found Richard with a bloody mouth and blood and feathers on his chest and 2 dead birds on his windowsill. When the staff asked him what the hell happened, Richard would tell them that he had cut himself shaving. I guess shaving with 2 birds.
I just shaving with the fucking parakeets.
Doesn't work. So I killed him.
He taped the head back on it.
Yeah.
He's like, pretty bird.
I'm institutionalized. I got no blood. Our pets' heads are falling off. So yeah, he would tell himself he cut himself shaving, while covered in feathers and blood. And hospital staff then discovered that he had actually captured birds through the bars on his bedroom windows, snapped their necks, and drank their blood out of their little necks.
Bird squeeze-its?
You tear the top off. And you just...
Parakeet squeeze-its. Parasqueeze-its?
Parasqueeze-its? A parasqueeze.
Wait, what's the other thing that everybody bitches about that they got like a mold in the bottom of them, but are real good?
The applesauces or Capri Suns?
Capri Suns. Yeah, oh yeah, some of them.
Penicillin.
Oh, fuck.
People would go on to say that Richard suffered from an ailment that isn't necessarily found in the DSM or Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, but is widely accepted and known as clinical vampirism, more commonly known as Renfield's syndrome. As you may have guessed, that involves an obsession with the drinking of blood.
according to a paper that was published in the Annals,
Yep,
Annals,
the Anal American Psychotherapy.
and published in the Annals of American Psychology
Anal.
Association by Jolene Pawlowski, titled Vampirism, Clinical Vampirism. Quote, Renfield syndrome has 3 stages. The first being cutting oneself and licking or sipping one's own blood, which would be considered auto-vampirism.
You know that one guy died from Kill Bill? No. That's autoerotic. Autoerotic.
Yeah. No.
Autoerotic vampirism.
Burton, have you ever tried choking yourself while jacking it?
No, I want to, but I'm too scared.
I can't breathe as it is. All I gotta do is walk up steps and try to jack off. I'm
Just throw
good
your
then.
inhaler across the room.
I'm too claustrophobic.
Oh, fuck. So the second stage is where I think it's called zoophagia, and it's where drinking animal blood and eating live animals.
I've been to that website.
So the third stage, so this evolves into a third stage, which is drinking the blood of others, or true vampirism.
The true.
While in the facility, Richard never stopped doing this shit, still being one weird son of a bitch in serious need of mental health help. But on September 29th, 1976,
Big up sticks.
Richard was released from the facility at the strong disapproval of significant number of the staff.
This is where they were like, what the fuck? They're letting this guy go?
Yeah. Most of the staff members were astounded that someone with the severe paranoid schizophrenia like he had, who was routinely the Hitler of the local bird population, was being released.
Yeah, pretty much. He's fucking holocausting them fucking birds.
He's upset of putting him in the gas chamber. He's break.
Putting them in the mouth chamber. Did that bird say Holocaust? Eat him! And so we're doing
This image of Nazis, and they're being gangsta, and they're like, Holocaust!
Oh my god, I hate you so bad. What the fuck, Burton?
I've got to go to Germany later this year, and I don't think they're going to let me in by association.
Ooh, we heard you on your Lunch Ped Boys podcast.
You're talking about lots of Nazis. Oh, we don't say that. It's a dirty word.
So, Burton, Zuul, today we're sort of awarding our first official award of this caliber, and also this is our first award of this episode. The Dildo of the Episode award.
Mark it down.
And it goes to 2 people. Richard's psychiatrist/doctor and Richard's mother, Beatrice.
I can take care of my boy.
We need to play like fanfare music. Doot, 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 doot. Like the music from Monty Python and the Holy Grail where the trumpets are playing out of the ass.
Yeah, and all the rest of the nurses are going, what the fuck are they doing? You know, this guy sucked some birds off.
We seen them giving oral to their heads.
Broke them off and went down on them like it was going out of style, and it never really was in style.
You idiot!
Sucking off birds. Anyway, so after several months of being in this mental health facility, in the month of September, Chase was released. And I know what you're thinking. Now, how the fuck did he get released? Because his human dildo of a doctor felt that his social skills had greatly improved and that his mother would push the staff into ultimately releasing him. It is said that his mother would frequently go to the facility for visits and tell the doctors that Richard didn't deserve to be in a place like this and that she could provide better care for him.
It's only blood. He's only drinking animal blood.
He's
Come
just
on.
drinking bird's blood. That's nothing.
Like, how did they judge his social skills? Just like, well, he didn't kill people. Only birds.
He didn't kill anyone yet.
Yeah, no. He just... They look underneath his pillow, and he's got, like, maybe 10 birds fucking just hanging out.
Like live?
Or he
like
lays
live
down.
birds? Oh,
No,
yeah,
dead
okay.
birds. So I sort of look at them almost like shrimp tails. After you eat the piece of shrimp, you throw the tail away. Well, they're, the comparable, but they're just laying in his bed, and he lays in it, rolling around. He's like, oh, yeah.
Get all that extra
My
blood.
bird back massager. So, Richard's mother and doctor supported him in leaving. Even when he was doing his best reenactment, of the most Looney Tune cartoons at the time, or even fucking Tom and Jerry.
Beating up on a cartoon mouse.
You know how they always take like the mouse and he sticks them in his mouth? It's like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But the grandma's not there to hit him in the head with a broom.
No, she was there to hit him in the head with the broom, and then he went back home.
It's true.
I love
He
grandmas.
just put a parakeet in his mouth and... Well, parakeets. So the doctors released him to his mother, telling her that Richard still needed to be in treatment and that he most certainly needed his medication.
At the very least.
Yeah. Keep this man away from the zoos.
My next goal is I'm going to suck off a tiger. Tiger blood.
Here, pretty kitty. Here, pretty kitty.
Tiger's blood. 60% of the time it works.
Can't beat rates like that.
No. Once released, Richard moved in with his mother for a few days. And while at his mother's home, Richard was weaned from his medication by his mom. So,
Cool.
she stated that the medication made him a zombie. Wasn't much of a fan of George Romero movies.
Jesus, Burton.
What? It's a chair.
No.
That makes like the fourth fucking part of this episode, you sick bastard.
Damn chair.
I'm hoping that's a drink and not you pissing.
That was me on the toilet yesterday.
Carbonated
Cork
poops.
pop. Yeah.
How you tell if he's French or not.
ASMR.
So judging by the fact his doctor said that he needed to remain on his medication, this probably wasn't a very good thing. And old Beatrice, what's her name?
Beatrice.
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub. Basically paved the way for her son to become one of the most infamous serial killers in history. So the medication Richard took helped to lessen the amount of the delusions, but also helped to block the flow of dopamine into his brain.
So he was walking around like a zombie.
Is it probably the best state for someone that sucks off a bunch of
Zombie,
animals.
vampire. You know?
You're mixing
Yeah.
up your genres there, bro.
Yeah, this is getting a little confusing here, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is he the Sacramento zombie or the San Francisco treat, or what is he?
What? No, we moved to Miami. It's a Miami treat.
Is this what the Cranberries wrote their song about?
Richard Chase, yeah.
Zombies! Vampire!
Yeah.
Something like that.
God damn it! I was gonna. Never mind.
His behaviors were still there. He was still, even though he was on this medication, he was still killing animals and drinking shit.
I'd love to suck off the blood out of some birds right now, but I'm on Thorazine.
Yes, you are quite humorous.
My soul's palpitating from the top of my skull.
Huh.
But I still have not enough blood.
He was still drinking the blood, being weird as fuck. So after being off his medication, guess what happened?
What?
Richard's behaviors returned tenfold.
Mm.
Beatrice realized that this shit was for the birds, so she and her ex-husband ended the conservatorship and allowed Richard to live on his own again. Best thing ever.
Again. She weaned him off the medication because she didn't like him being a zombie. And then when he returns to full form, she's like, yeah. And then her and old Dick Senor don't do anything to extend the conservational ship or whatever. Conservation ship.
Richard comes into the living room. Mom, my shit's planning on killing me. I just pooped it out. It's chasing me. And she's like, no, Nope. You were actually just sitting down eating macaroni and cheese.
Shit tried to kill me, so I murdered a bunch of birds.
Nope, Richard, you were actually just sitting down eating macaroni and cheese. None of that was happening.
Fuck this. Go live by yourself again.
Did you like That's for the Birds?
Yep.
That's a good one. Mm-hmm.
Don't make me hungry.
Still thinking she was aiding her son, little Richard's mom helped him plan a 3-week trip to Washington and gave him $1,450. In Washington, Chase bought a 1960 in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. What a nice lady.
Yeah, a ranchero.
What the fuck was his mom thinking? He's fucking getting crazier than batshit. And she's like, here, go on a 3-week vacation away from any supervision whatsoever.
God, that's a sweet car too. It's like the Ford version of a what is that with the car with the truck bed?
El Camino.
El Camino, yeah, it's the Ford El Camino basically.
But
Sweet.
the fact that his mom probably packed, here's your acid. Don't forget about your acid and your weed in there. Packing a little side packet there, Richard. Little dick, pack it in there.
I got a couple of Tupperwares with some birds in it too.
I was gonna say, well, I packed some frozen parakeets in the little.
You know, in case you get a little low on blood while you're tripping on acid driving a ranchero around.
I got some syringes filled with rabbit's blood in case you feel faint.
Oh yeah, that's a good mom. That's a good mom.
Imagine he's got to drive from Sacramento all the way up to, is it Washington?
That's a good guy.
He had to stop, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was going to get hungry.
He went to Washington, and then went to Colorado, and the next part of his trip took him into, I think, Nevada. In August of 1977, Richard would go on to completely blossom, you know, like the beautiful, horrible, blood-filled flower he is. You know, the true unstable thoughts in his mind were fucking unleashed upon the world at this point. And he was only probably a few cunt hairs away from reaching, you know, Super Saiyan, as the nerds would say. In the words of a wise man...
He went full Toyota Scion.
In the words of a wise man, he was large and in charge and looking for chickies. Think you send your dirt.
I'm going to compare Richard Chase to Joe Dirt. Richard, so yes. We'll recap. Richard was off his meds, living on his own in an apartment his parents were paying for. And also they were barely checking up on him. The whole scenario wasn't helped by the fact his mother, who kept telling him that nothing was wrong with him and that his medications were not needed. Richard was being tormented by his own delusions and compulsions stemming from his aggressive illness, which soon proved to be the recipe for disaster.
Richard, we went to Aldi's and got you 3 rabbit pelts. Mom, I told you. I want the whole thing. I want the blood.
I don't shop at Walmart for my rabbits. I can get them local.
I didn't want salmon. I said it 3 times. On August 3rd, 1977, my son's birthday, tribal police were called out. Minus the 1977 part.
Yeah,
They were called out after a car had been reported abandoned near Pyramid Lake, near the Walker River Reservation. Upon arriving, they found a 1966 Ford Ranchero with a bumper sticker that said, "I'd rather be flying," stuck in the sand. The police looked inside the vehicle to see if they could figure out who the fuck was driving a Ford Ranchero.
I'd rather be flying. Did he put the sticker on there?
I don't know.
Like, I'll be flying. I catch more birds in the air.
See, I thought it'd be like my other car runs on cat blood.
Emissions free cat blood.
Yeah.
My car is also low on blood. Cops were in for quite a treat when they looked inside of the car. And in the cab, they found 2 loaded rifles covered in blood, a 30-30 and a 22. Also in the vehicle was a pair of bloody tennis shoes and a pile of blood-soaked clothes. In one of the floorboards was a pool of fresh blood. And sitting in that pool of blood was a white plastic bucket with a liver inside.
So I wonder if he threw a conniption. Oh, precious blood in the floorboard!
I don't know. Yeah, I think that's probably an average scene of what you'd find in a ranchero stuck in the desert.
Yep. Imagine being law enforcement and stumbling upon this fucking site. Like, holy fuck. So, using their binoculars, the tribal police spotted Richard Chase. He was about a half mile away, perched on a large rock at the top, naked, covered in blood.
And when these officers approached him, Richard took off like a bat out of hell. Now imagine him running away, laughing and screaming and flapping his arms like a big old scrawny bird. But the officers had no trouble quickly apprehending him.
When I say Richard was covered in blood, I mean he was fucking covered in blood. Underneath his armpits, poured into his ears.
Up under the balls and in the taint.
Oh, fucking taint blood, dude. Ooh, stinky.
Gross.
But also imagine him running down the desert. Caw! Caw! Like, that's a big fucking bird, Ryan. When the police asked him where the blood came from, he told them that
It's seeping from me. Yes.
Chase was taken to the station for questioning.
At the police station, they figured out that the liver had been taken from a cow and not a human. Little Dick was let go. Basically, they stated that you can't arrest a man for being fucking weird.
True. True.
True. That's true.
Hey,
True that, sister.
give me 1 second, okay? I've got a quick poop. It's going to be plop, plop, fizz, fizz. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, you better hurry.
Say, in this case, it probably would have been good for them to arrest him.
Holy shit, dude.
Where'd you go? Where'd Burton go?
I don't know, but I even made a reference to Burton's poop.
He might have went to pee.
Dude, that was fucking... So back from the poop break, which let me tell you, White Castle coupled with the poops from like drinking, beer poops and White Castle poops, Jesus fuck.
I was telling Burton in the poop break that this might have been a case where arresting someone for being fucking weird was probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Because had police checked his records and seen just how many times he had been checked into mental hospitals and just the string of offenses of being just weird and questionable, they most likely would have held him a little longer and he might have been committed again. It may have also been the fact that Richard might have been under the influence of drugs at the time, and the officers felt that this crazy shit he was doing was because of the drugs.
He's like, is it Burning Man out here?
It's like, I think this guy just wandered away from the Burning Man. He's out here, he found a beef liver.
Ultimately, the blood came from a cow. Because it was, did we say it was a cow? Did we tell him that it was a cow liver? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's weird as fuck, though. He definitely went up in size. A few months later, in October of 1977, Richard would go on to buy and also steal a few dogs, which he would kill and then root for their innards, and then drink their blood. Right here, Richard is reaching his full potential as a fucking whacked out dude. Fucking off his rocker, Nobody's safe around this dude. It would be no more than 2 months later that Richard would go on to commit 6 murders, all gruesome as shit. And it's no lie when I say ass, blood, and guts everywhere.
Ass blood?
Ass, blood, and guts. So there's just asses everywhere, blood everywhere, and guts.
So not ass blood. Not blood from your
No.
ass.
Could be.
It could be blood from your ass, too.
Yeah. This is where we're going to leave you tonight. Next week, we'll go on to cover Richard's killing spree, which has gone down in history as one of the most gruesome things ever covered, as we've covered so far.
Ooh, sleep well for now.
Enjoy your liver.
It's pretty
Enjoy.
fucking gruesome, though. Oh, next week, I'll post the pictures of the crime scenes. and Jesus fuck. Or, more appropriately, as they say in, was it Hellraiser? Jesus wept. But, so far, what do you guys think of Richard?
He's a real dick.
You idiot. That's pretty good, Burton.
Really? Really?
Honestly.
Do you guys see where it's building, though? Like where
I can
it
see
started?
I can see it building so hard.
Can you see inside him the sickness is rising?
Yeah.
What the next episode is going to be is like redemption arc, right? He's going to come at maybe he does have enough blood. He's got enough blood, and he lives happily ever after.
He volunteers his time at the animal shelter.
Yeah, giving his blood to animals instead of
Surprised he hasn't
taking the
done that
blood
yet.
from the animals.
He's actually the one euthanizing the animals, but he waits till after hours.
It's funny.
Yeah, Richard, how do you actually do that? Oh, I suck their blood.
Oh fuck! Nope, Richard,
what
you're
was
not a
that?
people person.
What is that? What was that? I give them
Well, Richard, just stay in the back. We don't need you interacting with any of the clients. Hopefully, you guys will tune in next week to the conclusion of Richard Chase. This is where he becomes the vampire of Sacramento.
But for now, he's still the dick Skeeter.
Yes.
Yep, the Dick Skeeter.
yeah, Dick Skeeter of Sacramento.
But
But he will graduate next week.
yep, all three of us will return and display our genitals for you. So before we go, please check out our merch store, which is linked through our website, which go to our website, lunchbellboys.com. That's where you'll find all our sources and episodes.
Yes, buy our merch so that we can then buy beer and rabbits.
Yep. To drink.
I got hungry
Or-
for rabbit all of a sudden.
Scary, spooky skeleton pumpkin head guys.
Yeah, more of those things.
More. Also, find us on our social medias, and we're starting to make a little bit of a comeback on the TikTok. Fuck Zaipu. Right in his little rectum. And I think that's it, guys. Let's fucking load up and suck some dongs.
Yep. Get them hard,
We
get
love
them
you.
wet, and let's go.
Balls hard, butthole wet.
Fucking A, son.
Only way to live
Good night,
life.
guys.
Good night.
We love you. Eat our butts.
The dog terrier.